Welcome to Procedurally Generated, a police procedural podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine Harris. In this episode, I'll be discussing the NCIS franchise. So I'm recording this episode on the day that NCIS Hawaii was confirmed to be canceled, which is really unfortunate because I actually became attached to the characters and really enjoyed the show. From the beginning, I kind of felt like NCIS Hawaii wouldn't last nearly as long as the original series did, but I kind of expected it to go maybe 7 or 8 seasons, similarly to what they did with NCIS New Orleans. Speaking of that show, I never watched it when it actually ran, but a couple of years ago, I decided to start watching NCIS New Orleans, and I watched it from start to finish in about a year. Of course, I didn't sit and watch it all at once, but I did have a chance to start from the very beginning and see everything through the end. And I like that I didn't have to wait for any awkward summertime breaks or holidays or things like that, since the whole show had already come out. I started watching NCIS LA when it first started. I thought it was cool because it seemed a little bit more high-tech compared to the original NCIS franchise. But at some point I just decided to stop watching. I'm not exactly sure why. I probably just got busy with school at that point. But I definitely do want to watch all of NCIS LA, especially considering that that franchise is over as well. I'm not a huge fan of NCIS Sydney, although I think it's more of a cultural thing because I would rather them be based somewhere in the US rather than in some other country. I think that's the main reason why I don't like it. Other than that, I don't have any strong reasons to not like the show. I just have a hard time getting invested in it because I have a feeling that it's not going to last more than season 3, just like NCIS Hawaii. Although I did have that thought before I knew the show was going to be canceled. Hopefully we do see NCIS Sydney go for more than 3 seasons. If we do, I think that the show can really get its footing. But I do know that they are going a more nostalgia-focused route with a couple of new NCIS franchises that are starting. One is going to be focused on Gibbs at some point when he was younger, and there's also going to be a series that's focused on Ziva and Tony, who are 2 of the earlier cast members from the original NCIS franchise. So I have a feeling that those 2 shows are probably going to last a while, but I can't honestly see NCIS Sydney lasting very long. Maybe they'll get a 3rd season, but I highly doubt that they'll keep NCIS Sydney if they actually go through with creating those other 2 shows. We'll just have to see how the next couple of years pan out for the new spin-offs. Hopefully the 2 new spin-offs end up actually being enjoyable, although I do have my doubts. We'll just have to see how that goes.